I don't know about you guys, but I've never met a vegetarian hardcore. They want to save the planet, but then at the same time, they go out to a steakhouse 5 times a week and they eat a big, bloody, rare steak. And this is relevant for if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, you might be doing the same thing. You might have these big growth goals. You might want to get the beach house and have all these employees and scale, but you're operating out of scarcity still. You're still so scared and fearful. And again, even if you're taking action somewhat, you have big goals, you're operating out of scarcity and growth and scarcity. Again, it's like being a vegetarian and a steak lover. They don't mix. Like, I don't care how you slice it, they're two total opposites. And most people, of course, when they start their business, they're not naturally growth minded in all areas of their life in terms of money and business. But you can start with scarcity, but then you can't let that fester for 5 years, 10 years. I have clients that it's festered for 20 to 30 years. And so even though they've had these big goals, they've never come to fruition. And yes, we all can use better marketing, sales, and a lot of logical things with our business. But a lot of the time, people need to fix how they're approaching the day, how they're approaching quote unquote risk. I think a lot of the time people think risk is doing too much, taking too much action. Like even me, when my business was going even very well, years ago, I still said, I'm not complacent. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to keep growing. So I took out two business loans that were way more than my collective net worth at the time because I said, I need to grow. I need more marketing. I need people to help me. I need to scale. And I would have regretted looking back now if I didn't take that action, if I didn't take that risk. And I think a lot of you deep down want to do the same thing, but there's something stopping you from just maybe signing up for the program or getting the funding or whatever is necessary to help your business go to the next level, or just starting the business, right? Maybe you have a great W-2 and you have the 401k and all the benefits and all the comfort, but that comfort is like a blanket that's killing your potential because you're so complacent. And again, that's scarcity. Scarcity is, oh, I don't need much. I'm okay with where I'm at. I'm doing pretty well. But if you want to stay comfortable, you're never going to grow. Again, you can't grow inside of your comfort zone. You have to get uncomfortable. And I'm telling you, once you put your back up against the wall and there's no other option besides success, you can figure things out. But again, if you're comfortable, you're doing okay, you're okay being okay, you're never going to push yourself for those outcomes that could transform your life or your business. And that's why I want to make this quick video because I've worked with over 1,200 business owners. I've spoken to with events and webinars and even one-on-one calls, probably almost 20,000 people, a lot of them one-on-one to hear why they're not growing their business. And it's more emotional and psychological rather than logical, I need funding or I need this or I need that. Usually, if they're resourceful, they can figure anything out, but you're only resourceful when you have to be. Right? When you hear people's amazing entrepreneurial stories, like myself, I sold my car when I was like 18 or 19 to fund my business. So I was riding my bike to Starbucks to use their Wi-Fi to 7 days a week work on my business. Like you only hear of stories like that when someone isn't comfortable and they have to figure it out. They have to be resourceful because they don't have a mom or dad funding their business. They don't have a cushy job waiting for them. Maybe they didn't go to the fancy school. So use that as an asset though, and put yourself sometimes back into being resourceful by again, getting out of scarcity, getting outside the comfort zone, putting your back up against the wall and saying, I'm going to do this and there's no other option besides success. I can't fail. Literally, whether it's financially or you don't want to show your husband or wife or kids that you just kind of quit or failed. This is a real conversation. Again, some of you might be like, oh, like that's a little much. You want your spouse, your kids, your family to say, oh, wow, when Alex says he's going to do something, he's going to do whatever it takes on God's green earth to make that happen by any means necessary. And you want them to say the same thing for you. And you're going to fail here and there. And failure could be you do something and it doesn't work out as well as you want it to. But that's not real failure. Most people fail because they never even try. They maybe do something for a few months, then they quit when it gets hard. Then they do something else, then they quit. So you can fail, but Michael Jordan, failure. He's missed thousands of shots in his career. Tom Brady, he's lost Super Bowls. Like we all technically fail, but the only true quote unquote like diabolical failure is going to be if you never give it a shot or you just kind of dabble and you quit because that's scarcity. If you really 100% believed that what you're doing had almost no chance of failure, imagine what your mind would do. Your mind would think so big, so grand because you're not thinking about but what if this happens? Or but what about that? Or concerns. You're thinking about, hey, if this guy Alex can, that's the beach out there. Again, I'm the guy that, had to sell my car to, you know, fund my business and go to Starbucks working on my laptop. And now I have a house on the beach. I'm not saying that's typical or that's going to be your situation whatsoever, but it's because the persistence, the work ethic, and the pressure I constantly put on myself, that's also not typical. So I just wanted to make this video because I think if you shift that, that's way more important than your business model. Is it the right time? Is it this? Because none of that's going to matter. Your mind is going to open up and think, how big can this grow? And why can't I do that? There's nothing literally or physically or like you're not defying science by growing your business to a certain amount, but you might be defying the limitations that you've placed or society or your environment has placed on you and your growth. So again, you have to make the decision. Hey, if you want to stay comfortable and you don't want to grow, honestly, like stick with what you're doing. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. But a lot of you can take things to the next level. You're not meant to stay in the same place, but you have to use this and say, am I going to grow? Am I going to commit to that or not? You can't play the ping pong, let me do both game. I promise you it doesn't work. So if you have any questions, comment below. I'd love to offer any insight that I can. But like I said, I'm just sharing my experience. Yours may be different, but hope you gained some value from this video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.